Hey everybody, welcome to Adobe Live. I'm Andrew Hockrattle.
I'm Renee Di Cherri.
And Firefly has gone global. We want to show you a little bit about it. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Bienvenidos, welcome back. So Firefly has gone global. There is a language support for, I believe, over 100 languages, which is really cool. So make sure you check that out, firefly.adobe.com. But we are here on the stream today to hang out with Renee. Renee, what are we doing today?
All right, well, we are going to be imagining a lot today. So are you ready to imagine?
Imagination.
We are going on a journey that is false. False, it's not true.
Okay.
But it's still a journey that I think will help creatives out there because I'm an illustrator. I love to draw.
Okay.
So I'm not going to use Firefly to make characters because you're taking away the fun.
Got it.
That's not what I do.
Okay.
But let's imagine that I am an illustrator with a Patreon, which I'm not.
Okay.
But I need to make
A successful Patreon. Let's be very specific. Let's speak this into existence. Okay.
Successful Patreon where I
Yes.
draw every week. I draw cute little comics and I really enjoy it. And what I send out are these cute branded sort of note cards and like stationery and just cute shit I send out to my patrons every freaking month,
Okay.
right? That's a lot of work.
Yes.
And what I would use Firefly for is to make that work simpler, faster, easier. And so that's what I'm going to show you today. We're going to pretend like I got that Patreon. We're going to start branding stuff. And then we're just going to see, you know, if this resonates with other illustrators out there. Because I know you're out there going like, what am I going to use Firefly for? And I think this is a good example.
Yes, illustrators in chat, let us know that you're there.
Yeah.
Leave us a yellow heart. Let's do a yellow heart. If you're coming over from our Discord community, hi, we love you too. Leave a purple heart. Lots of hearts in chat.
And if you're coming over and you just know who I am, will you leave a sparkle? Do you know the 3 little sparkles?
Oh,
That's
yes.
like my favorite emoji.
And if
So,
you're
like,
coming over because for some reason you found it because of me, leave a black heart. Because oh, look at us. We're all in black today with the black star there too. Wow. Goth stream. All right, let's go ahead and hop in and get started.
All right, so this is my little character, Honey Bun. You might have seen her before.
All right.
And so I've got a very successful Patreon. This is a lie. Very successful Patreon with her as a comic book star. And what I want to do is I want to send out these cute little lined note cards every month to my patrons, right? So this is the envelope. You can just print it and fold it all cute. Here's my little letter that I'm going to write. I'm going to be like, thank you, Tony, for your patronage. Like, you know, chill. And then here's a little business card that will have, you know, I actually should have put my social on there, but I didn't. But let's pretend it's got my social on there. And so that's what I already have. I'm already done. But it turns out my patrons are Japanese.
Okay.
I have a huge Japanese market. And do you know what the Japanese people love more than anything?
What?
Seasonal stuff.
Seasonal stuff.
Seasonal
Okay.
stuff. So, you know, they love like the cherry blossoms in April, of course.
Yes.
But there is a flower or a plant or a leaf for every single season of the year, like every month of the year. Sometimes there's several. Like during rainy season, it's hydrangeas. During like the early winter, it's the ginkgo leaves that are all yellow. And like,
Okay.
they just go nuts for this stuff. And so to make my Japanese audience happy, what I'd like to do is brand all of this, change it up a little bit, and give it some of that flavor.
Ooh,
of that
some
style,
pizzazz.
that pizzazz. But I've only got 15 minutes to do it in because, of course, I'm a hustler. I got
Yes.
like 20 jobs.
We
I
got
got like
time.
a day
Yeah.
job. I don't have that time to just spend it on everything, and that's where Firefly comes in to help.
Magic.
Okay, so what should my first season be? And because you said it does different languages, I might use my very painful Japanese to try and do this.
Okay, we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens.
So
We'll see.
What's my first season?
Chat, if you have suggestions
Let's
of a
see.
season, I think we should start with spring.
Spring? All right,
Spring is my
so
favorite. Spring is when my birthday is, so I'm selfish.
when is it?
April.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect. So let's do cherry blossoms, and actually, let me do sakura. A sakura.
Aries season, baby.
Let's do sakura mori, which would be forest. A sakura forest. And let's see what the prompt generates. Oh, and you know what? I didn't set my aspect ratio. I need to do that.
Oh, that's fine.
We'll do that on the thing. Let's see what it... Okay, it's Japanese.
Yep.
It's not a forest. Is that my failure? I don't think so, because that's Mori. Let's try Sakura, spelled out in hiragana. Let's see if that helps.
Let's see what happens. So I believe we have done so far on stream. On the last stream, we did German and French. There we go. We got it.
We got it. Now,
Spring forest.
let's go ahead. I think it's because I did Sakura in kanji and it wasn't right. Okay, so I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna replace this sort of like gradient background with this really quickly. And let me see, which one would be best? Honestly, I want portrait,
Yeah.
right? And then do we want to add a different style? Because all of these little helpful bars over here allow us to change it a little bit. So do we want to do like a vector look? That kind of already looks vectory.
I think doing like a palette knife sometimes is really cool, especially with this. I think the little palette knife strokes on the
right.
flowers could look really cool.
Let's try that. Let's generate that. I'm looking at the chat. Look at everybody.
Autumn can also be quite nice and wonderful. Yes, I love autumn. I grew up in like a small town in Northern California, and when autumn hit, it was like red, green, yellow, brown. Everything was so gorgeous. Wow, I love these.
These are gorgeous. Okay, cool. I don't know. I just kind of like, I don't know. I can't choose. I'm having a hard time choosing. I feel like I like this one the best one, the color, but then I like the shapes on this one.
Man, the colors on that last one, like I would use Adobe Color and pull that color scheme out because those colors, like the green tones are so good.
Those green tones are good. And that is something that you can do, is you can just put this in Adobe Color and then it'll automatically pull the palette. Okay, cool. So I've downloaded one of these images and it even names it, which is so nice there. And I'm actually just gonna drag that in here into my little composition here. And so I'm doing something kind of weird here that I don't normally do. And no, I didn't want to hide envelope. I wanted to hide my picture because I want to show y'all.
Also, if you're wondering what languages it supports, I believe that it shows you at firefly.adobe.com. Also, as just a rule of thumb, I do believe that it doesn't support right to left languages yet, and it supports most left to right languages. So just a quick little reference, I believe that that's maybe Arabic, Hebrew, they go right to left. So I'm sure that they're working on it. We want to bring Firefly to the world. But right now, 100 plus languages. Ooh.
Right? Okay, so all I did is I've got this little, okay, so first let me talk about what I'm doing here. I have a multiple artboard document, which I normally don't do, but that lets you look at everything all at once. And I've actually got, I forgot about this, Andrew. I made these all into smart objects, which means if I actually open this, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double click in this rectangle, and if I place the image here, it should replace it in all of those pieces of content. So let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. The only problem is when you do this, you can't really see your result until you get out of your smart object. You know what I mean? You have to save it and commit the changes.
I think that you can save. And it will update. Yes, live. You have it in a different window. Yes. So if you have the windows side by side,
if I pull it out, it'll do that.
I believe. I'm actually really curious if it does this.
Okay, let's try it again, because what I want to do, even though I'm happy with this, I want to do like a blending mode, because I definitely don't want it that intense. Do you see how you wouldn't be able to read my text? It's all blended. It's too crazy, right? So I don't want the full image like this. So let's go ahead. No, I don't want to deselect all layers. I just want to be here, but I've pulled my window over, of course. My best friend Hep works here too, and she calls me a Photoshop sociopath because my windows are always crazy.
There's a lot happening.
I can't ever keep it normal. I'm sorry. Okay, let's try no, multiply is too subtle.
Oh, they're like one of the lighter ones, like a overlay soft light. Yeah.
Okay, and if I hit save.
I think it updates. Yeah, it does update live. So you can put your windows side by side as you work with smart objects, which I also do a lot, especially with mockups.
Yeah.
You can put them side by side and just save, and it will sync back and forth so you can really see what you're working on.
Because check this out. It updated all 3 of my pieces at once. I could almost be done with this, but I'm not done. I want to edit it just a little bit more. So, you see where honey bun is down at the bottom of this note paper? I actually kind of want a little bit less, and it's the same thing over here where Tony Helms, Tony's my Patreon that I've decided is he's actually my real pal. He's a wonderful person in the fresco community, and I was like, oh, let's pretend like he's one of my patrons. So I want this text to come out, and it's not right now. So what I'm gonna do is go back to my smart object here, and I'm just gonna add a gradient on top, but we're gonna do a black and white gradient because I'm gonna do it in a mask, right? Like I just want the mask to kind of mask out a little bit of this. So let's do an empty mask. Let's go ahead and do like a gradient. No, let's do the other way. No, that's not what I mean.
Also, new gradient tool.
Yeah. Oh my God, the gradient tool is amazing. This is like what it's like in Illustrator.
Yes.
And I think that's probably why I'm not like winning at it yet.
It's really good, but it's a huge change from what it was.
It's totally different. Actually, I kind of like that. Oh,
I do
it's bringing
too.
back the other. That's what it's doing.
The layer underneath it, because you're masking out.
Yeah. Why is it so big though? I don't understand. Because like it's like the black of the gradient is all the way at the bottom. What have I done? What have I done?
There is the blue layer down at the underneath.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's
it's showing
happening.
the blue layer.
The blue layer.
That's what it's doing. Actually, I do like that. It's just that I didn't understand what it was doing.
Yes.
Now that I understand it,
I'm happy
like
and confused.
Exactly that. Now, I was gonna edit the Honey Bun logo as well, like as we go through this branding process, but I kind of like the spring version. Before I go too far, I do want to open something else. I want to show you guys how you can just add text really quickly to, like, let's say you are doing your Patreon, right? I wrote a little note to myself. Come on. Do I not have it? I might have deleted it, actually.
Oh no, the note.
I know, because the whole idea was like that I could write like, hey, thank you so much for like being a patron, and
Rest in peace note.
Rest in peace. Let me check my Creative Cloud files and see if I've got that. Apologies for the delay.
Oh, you're totally good. So while she does that, I can make announcements because we love announcements. If you haven't followed us over on Instagram, Adobe Live is on Instagram at Adobe Live. You can follow there. We post updates of guests that we're having, special events that are going on. And if you've noticed, this week is a little bit different. Adobe Live is always live every day from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time. And our friend Ryan Selvey has taken over this week, and it's something that we call Offset. So we'll be back next week with our regular programming. We love Ryan, does awesome content, and there is some Offset content. Is Offset done? Oh no, I think Offset's done. Great job, Ryan. I was just thinking about that. Great job, Ryan. Thanks so much for an awesome Offset week. It allowed us to take a little break, which is great. If you have questions, this is a live show. You can drop those questions into the chat, whether on YouTube or if you are on Behance. And if you have questions after the fact, leave them down in the comments. We check the comments on the YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to as well. Our moderator will drop it down in the chat. All right. We're back.
We are back. Okay, so I can't find my handwritten note, sadly, but that's okay. Let's just go on through. Let's do something that's sort of summery.
Okay.
Now, when I think of summer, I think of sunflowers. I actually don't know the word for sunflower in Japanese, so we're just gonna do we're just gonna use English.
Can we mix languages? Hold on. I should have tested it before I tried that.
I'll just keep on with my sunflowers, and you can find out for me if you can mix it. Let's see. Sunflower field, and we've still got the palette knife on. Oh, wow. Okay, so these are a little too intense. I want something like, I guess what I'm saying is the last photo was already a little busy, and even though I really like this Sakura version, I kind of want it to be a little bit lighter for this time. Let's see, how can we do like a ambient sunflower field? That doesn't really sound right, but let's find out.
Subtle is a word that I've been throwing in.
Sunflower
Quick
field.
update. Mixing languages does not work. So don't mix languages. It is fine. All right.
I don't have it on.
Oh, Studio Manager.
No, it's just.
That was a little cameo from our Studio Manager. Say hi, Studio Manager.
Everyone say hi. He was trying to check to see if my color was appropriate, so sorry about that. Okay, so we are doing this one. I really like this sunflower one, and so let's go ahead and download that. And then again, because I did this all in the same artboard, I can go to File, Export, and it's actually going to export all of these all at once.
Can we at some point, if we have time, just show you how you set up the multiple artboards? I don't use multiple artboards in Photoshop because I get scared. So I'm sure that there are people in chat that also are the same way.
Yes.
So at some
Yes.
point, let's show how you set those
Yes.
up and kind of get them going.
Yes. And what's cool is that like because I used that smart object, it just updated across all of these immediately, and I can export, and I've got number 1 done. Spring is done. Let's go ahead and save out my spring and honey bun, and we are gonna open this folder, and we're gonna export. And now it's gonna save each one of those as the right size. Maybe later, we don't need share for review, but thank you. All right, now we're gonna drop in our sunflower field to the same artboard here. I should have downloaded it. Here it is, subtle sunflower. Pull you in. We're gonna size you up.
Oh,
I know, right? I lost control of my trackpad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just a little too excited to be here today.
extreme close up.
Extreme. Alrighty, here's my sunflower, and if I hit save, this should update over here.
Boom.
I like it. I want to pull this down. I don't. I want to get a little bit more, just empty space in the top there.
What happened with the stretchy?
Yeah. Well, it's stretching because I actually stretched this guy. He's actually stretched.
Stretched the
Yeah, yeah. And
got
so if I wanted to do this where I've got multiple smart objects, that's something you're gonna have to face, where you're like, oh, I don't really know if I like that. So we can go in and we can actually edit that to our own liking so that it doesn't have the stretchy yuckiness. In fact, let me show you how to do that. Okay, so if you're in a multiple artboard document like this, all of your artboards show up as little layer stacks like this. You see
Okay.
I've got envelope, line note, and business card. So the envelope is the one that's stretchy, and we don't like that, right? So let's go ahead and open the envelope, and I actually saved a handy dandy rectangle there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna relocate this rectangle and make it all nice, because we're just gonna hide this. We don't like this, right? For whatever reason, he got moved too, so we're gonna fix that real quick, my friends. Shift. I always forget which one has shift and which one doesn't. You know
Oh,
what I
because it's
mean?
the same smart object that's been squished. Got it.
So all we gotta do though is just drag this Firefly field into here, and then we can just make it whatever size we want and arrange it however we like, and we'll clip it to the new rectangle, and then it looks sweet. Now, of course, you can't read Tony's name, which is a bummer. I'm sure Tony wants to read his name. So we're
Yes.
gonna have to figure that out. Maybe I would do something like exactly what we did on the first one and like grab a gradient and mix it in here, but I probably want to do a gradient that's like matches this color. So let's find something like a green. Let's see, what do we think? Like that?
Yeah.
Or this one? That's kind of nice. And that's kind of big, right? Let's
Ooh.
do a new one. Let's put it on a new layer, and let's attach the layer there. Let's get it here. Oh, it's gonna do the layer stack, right? So
Yep.
it's gotta be like this. And then maybe what I'm gonna do, how am I gonna fade
Blending
this out?
mode?
Yeah, I could do a blending mode, or
Yeah.
I could do a color, like a mask over it. Oh, that looks really good though. Now that makes me wanna add it to all of it.
That's really cool.
I know, let's do that, okay? Let's copy this and let's pull it over into our notepad. Lined note. And let's do the same thing.
Oh, you can drag between artboards as well.
Yeah, you totally can. So let's grab this and put it on top of our
Artboards are so
rectangle.
nice. I'm like watching you work in artboards, and I've been so quiet because I'm just like, why have I not been working in artboards?
They're
It seems
pretty
so much
sweet.
easier.
No, it can be really, you have to set it up though. It's all about how you set it up. Because even, did I grab the same thing? I didn't duplicate it, right? That's what I messed up on. Okay, so I need to duplicate the gradient fill. Because I actually literally, there's only one. There's only one, and I just dragged it over to the other guy. So
Let's
like,
go on and move that one.
yeah. It's like, you have to actually duplicate between the artboards. So let's go down here. Let's put it in here. Put it over our rectangle. And I'm gonna use Option Click.
Lock it in. And that basically doing the option click makes it so that it only affects the layer below it.
Yep.
So if the layer below it doesn't take up the full artboard, it will only affect the pixels that are live on the layer below it.
I don't love it as much over here though, and maybe it's because the gradient's in a different position. How do I grab that gradient tool again? Do you know? Is there a way?
I think.
Because it's a actual procedural gradient.
Double
right?
click on it.
Okay.
The actual like gradients. That yeah.
Let's try that.
Okay.
Because, you know, over here,
yeah.
we've got
Maybe
this sweet
gradient
yellow.
tool? I know, we have like the little line.
Yeah, and it looks so nice.
Okay, so maybe hit OK and then pick up the gradient tool over on the left. Oh, it is. It's right there, top left.
I'm in it.
Yeah, it has the line on the top left of the business card.
Yeah, I'm trying to edit it on the note card, though. That's the thing.
Are you on the business? Are you selected the business card? Or are you selecting the note card?
No,
you must be selecting the note card.
No, I'm on the business card. And it's not letting me.
Weird, and it's selecting it over there.
Is it?
Oh, it's because the gradient's over there.
My friends, the gradient is across everything.
The gradient's across everything. That's why it didn't look good, is because the gradient was going across the entirety of the artboard. Okay.
That actually is really cool, and I don't understand it, but I'm here for it.
Yep, no, it's breaking my brain too. So the gradient is affecting
everything.
Okay.
Everything. Anyway, I do really like it. Now, when I look at this, though, Honey Bun herself is really fading out. Like, you can't really tell what's going on there. And so I do want to bring her out a little bit, and I'm not sure how. I might decide to use, like, a stroke. Like, let's try that. Let's see. Here's my layer of her. Let's double-click into her, and let's see what a stroke would do on the outside of her. Let's make it really, like, silly. We want this on the outside.
I'm a big fan of outer glows. I know a lot of people hate on outer glows, but if you get it right, you can get a really good kind of like shadow box look. Okay,
let's try an outer glow. So let's see. We're going to do outer glow, and we're going to do normal for now, just so we can see it. I might use a blending mode, but I like to be able to see it first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to do softer. Let's do softer, because if we do precise, it'll be really crunchy and not in a great way, I think. But let's make it bigger. You know what? That does look really nice. Thank you for the suggestion.
You're welcome. I'm here to help.
I really like it. And then she does kind of pop out a little bit. Now let me zoom in a little bit, though, because I couldn't zoom while I was in there, and I want to make sure that that looks nice. Actually, it does look nice.
If you'd like more help, you can join me Wednesdays at 1 p.m. for Adobe Office Hours right here on Adobe Live. I have a show that I run with Nick Longo. Every Wednesday, we help you level up your creative careers so you can set your calendars. 1 p.m. every Wednesday. Next week, we're talking about branding. Yesterday, we talked all about color. Every way that you can get color, you can find color, you can use the perfect colors, brands that have good colors. So we talk every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Come hang out with me.
I will.
Shameless plug.
No,
Shameless.
it was wonderful.
Yeah,
it was a wonderful plug.
It felt a little organic.
Okay, last but not least, I'm messing over here with the business card. I kind of don't mind the way it is. I might actually just turn the opacity of this layer down a little bit to make it a little bit more subtle. Or maybe I'll just grab that same gradient. I'm trying to decide which I like better, because it just feels a little busy for the business card because it's just so much, right? Like it's just, there's too much going on. But can I get that gradient? I don't think I can get that gradient across everything. So since we ran into the gradient problem, I'm just gonna make a new gradient over here. You know, we're just gonna make a new one. And then I'm gonna clip it to this layer, and then I'm gonna turn the opacity down on top. And then we get a little bit of that sunflower texture, and yet it's not overpowering.
And it feels like we found the new season.
It does. Now I feel like Tony's name needs to be a different color though. So just as that last little touch, let's go ahead and brighten up Tony's name. Let's do something, let's see what white looks like.
I would say I'd throw white and just make it like bold if there's a bold option.
Let's see what the bold looks like. That's a great idea. I guess Arial Rounded is already bold, it claims. Oh. It's already bold enough, apparently.
Outer glow. Don't do it.
Let's do just like a dark green. That looks okay.
Yeah.
That looks all right. And now Tony, here's your summer version.
There we go.
Even though Tony's not Japanese, right? We had this whole lie about Japan and everything, and like now we're throwing Tony into the mix. But
that's true.
I know Tony would love to live in Japan.
Okay, so I myself, well, let's export this first.
Yeah.
And I myself am a winter boy.
Ooh.
I would love to be cold all the time. Okay. My heart is frozen, and I am ready to be packed in snow. So maybe let's explore a nice little winter version next.
Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna export this, and I'm gonna open that folder, and it should export me a new version. It's doing it right now, and it's done. Okay, so in the winter time, I think, let's check really quickly. Winter seasonal flowers, Japan. Because there's a couple different things that they do. Oh yeah, the camellia.
Okay.
That's one of the flowers that they use.
Peonies.
There's also the trees. Winter season trees, Japan, because there's like the red maple, the ginkgo. Yeah, the Japanese maple falls in near the winter time.
Ooh.
So that could be cool. And then there's also the ginkgo. Let's do ginkgo.
A little red and white.
Japan season. Yeah, we could do red and white or the yellow. What do you think? Which one is?
Let's do the red and white so that it's like separate. Because this is very, like what we have for spring is very yellow.
Okay.
So let's try to maybe do the red.
We'll try to do the red.
With that, yes.
Okay, sounds good. So let's go back to Firefly and let's generate us a cute red seasonal image. I don't remember, there is a word for that.
We can do it in English.
Yeah, okay, let's do it in English. You're right. Thank you for reeling me in.
Yes.
Let's do red maple, red maple trees in the snow. See how that turns out.
I love anything in the snow because it's such good contrast. Like everything's so contrasted that it really like pops. Yeah. Oh, we do still have the palette knife on. Ooh, I'm not mad about it though.
No, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I think I like the shapes of this one best, but I really like the sky on this one. Maybe clear sky? Do you think that might get me better results?
Yeah, maybe. I just got curious. In my brain, I was like, oh, that looks like a vintage Christmas card. And I was like, I wonder what it generate for like an old Christmas card.
It's making you old Christmas cards. Ooh, I like these a lot better. Let's do this one. I like this one. I'm gonna download it. And then we're gonna open back up my branding. And we're gonna plunk it in. Now, I kinda wanna change the logo up too. So let's try that as well. Oops, I have to open my smart object. Sorry, friends. Let's go over to line note and let's open up my smart object. And if you missed that, you just double click on the actual smart object and it opens it up for you. And then as soon as you change it here, it'll propagate the changes across everything that you're using the smart object in. That's the power of it, and it's pretty sweet. So I'm gonna stretch it a little bit over here, and I'm gonna hit save, and then you'll see it update really quickly. And ooh, actually the gradient over that is kind of crazy. It's not showing up on my envelope because if you remember, we actually changed that one really quickly. And we're gonna have to do the same thing here.
I love that palette though. The orange, blue, green. Like not for this, but in general, that's a really interesting palette.
It is a really interesting palette.
And someone in chat is saying Japanese tend to have a lot of bonsai trees. Ooh. And I got inspired, and so I generated, can we switch to my screen? Is that a thing?
Let's see it.
Do we have that set up? In this stream.
You might.
I got distracted. I just made like a bunch of cute little animals that are living in like a little tiny bonsai tree.
It looks cool.
Look at them, just hanging out.
See, but as an illustrator, that's the kind of thing I don't want to do because I want to draw it myself.
This could be a good reference?
It could be, but honestly, I pretty much want to draw it myself, you know what I mean? So.
All right. All right, so back, you're dropping in everything.
Yeah.
Ooh, those colors are way better.
It's way better, right? And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fade it up from white on the bottom. But you see how it's stretching on this one as well. So I'm actually gonna pull in the image again. And let's pull it in here. Why doesn't it want me to pull it in? I don't understand.
Maybe a different window was selected with the layers, let's see.
Maybe.
Boop, there we go.
We need it over here. And yeah, you can drag between.
Artboards are so, I'm like freaking out about artboards.
They're pretty crazy. They're actually really powerful. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull it down to this rectangle and we're just gonna go ahead and clip it so that we get that image in a better way. And I might just do like that for that one. And then over here on my lined note card, what I want to do, let me hide this guy so that we get that vibe over there. And I'm gonna do another gradient. I'm gonna delete my old gradient fill. How do I wanna do this? I think I wanna grab this color right here, this sort of like beautiful peachy snow color. It's like almost beige. And then I wanna build a gradient from it moving up. So let's grab this guy. And then let's do one of my favorite, which is this basic one, which is just that background.
Yep.
Like it just uses whatever your color is. Oops, no, not like that.
Ooh.
I want it the other way though. Let's go down. Yeah. And then I'm actually gonna turn the opacity down and attach it to this.
That's really nice.
So we get like a smoky look, kind of. You still sort of see the
foggy,
image.
yeah.
Yeah, let's pull this gradient up a little bit more because I like that. Because imagine I'm gonna write something cute here, like, thank you so much for your patronage. I so appreciate you, Tony Holmes. And then of course we gotta go over here, we gotta edit Tony's name, make it all pretty. Can't be that color, can it? You can't read that. Tony's gonna stop being a patron. He's gonna stop.
He's like, my name. I can't read my name. Get me out of here.
He's gonna be like, Renee, you didn't even like put my name on it. Now let's think about the business card, because again, like, this is something I had this idea, right? And yet it's just too crunchy. It's too much texture for such a tiny little business card.
Yep.
You know? So I guess what I'm gonna do is the same thing. Even though the smart objects are fun and you can just like move between them, it's not working for every single size, right? And I don't know, maybe there's a way to make it like resize, but I'm not feeling it.
I think.
Yeah.
Let me do some thinking about how
we could do that.
Yep.
Thank you. You're kind of magical at this stuff, so I believe that you can figure out a way.
Yes.
And for the moment, I'm just gonna do it this way. I'm just gonna pull it in here in the business card, and we're just gonna make it a little bit bigger so that it's actually got like not too much going on. And we're gonna go ahead and clip it, and maybe we're gonna turn the opacity down a little bit so it's a little bit chiller. Oh no, I don't like that. Let's find a better spot for it.
Just a wee bit of texture.
Yeah, just a little bit. Maybe I'll make it really big, and then it becomes abstract. And actually, I might put a blur on it because I don't want it to be too distracting. So let's do like a Gaussian blur, and we'll just do it a little bit, just enough, so that when you look at everything together with the branded note card and everything else, it fits, but it doesn't feel overwhelming.
Yep. And if you ever want to make something look like it was printed, make something look like a little more textural, blur it by like 0.5. Nothing is ever like perfectly crisp like you see on the scene, or on the screen. So being able to like blur just a tiny bit is usually helpful. And then add noise. Adding in just like 1% noise gives you like an extra little bit of something. But that's for if you want it to display on the screen as if it was printed, not if you're actually going to print it. If you print it with the noise and blur, it looks bad. So sometimes screens you need to make look a little bit worse to make them look authentic.
One more thing that I could do is I've got this cute little logo, Corporate Cottontail. That's Honey Bun. Her adventures through the corporate life. That's what this fake comic will be all about. And we could be editing this as we go as well, because it's a smart object too. So we could jump in here and we could actually change this gradient to something that might be like a bright red, just like that tree. Let's see how that looks. Let's try something like this.
Ooh.
Hit OK and hit save, and you'll see that should propagate the changes. Ooh.
Propagated. And you'll notice that it went to 3 different places.
Yeah.
Because when you use a smart object, the smart object is linked everywhere it is. The same if you're using linked objects from Creative Cloud libraries, it will do the same thing to where it will link everywhere that it has been placed.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Oh, that contrast is nice too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not quite the right color red though, so I might go in here and actually edit it. So I was just using the preset gradients, but you don't have to. I can open this up. I can stop being lazy. I could actually color pick from the photo.
And what you could do, I don't know why you would do this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Here's where you would do this. If you had the smart object, right, that was let's say each one of these was a different season, you could apply adjustment layers to a smart object. So if we wanted one of them to have a like blue tone, all we need to do is add an adjustment layer and do a hue and saturation shift. And then when we save the actual smart object, it would go and get applied with all of those adjustment layers on top of it.
That is absolutely true. That's a very cool idea. You can even save these as styles too. Do you do that a lot? You save your favorite ones as styles?
I use styles a lot in Illustrator, never in Photoshop.
Really?
Yeah, I use it a lot in Illustrator.
Because you can make this into a style, and then you can go up to the top here and it'll show up. So like we could actually just click on this and make it all crazy. Like there's all these different options.
I should do that because I do like 3 things in Photoshop.
Yeah? That's it?
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen you do 4.
That's fair. Like when I'm doing texturing and when I'm doing effects, like layer styles especially, I'm doing noise, I'm doing outer glows, or I'm doing like maybe a bevel sometimes.
Okay.
And so I guess I could create some styles, but I do the same things every time.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, cool. So we got our winter vibes. It's not quite as wintry as it could be, so let's take it one step more. First, I want to check and see if I was actually saving over my stuff or if I did it right. Because I'm sorry to say that it's actually new for me too to use the multiple artboards. So no, actually I've been saving over my stuff because they've been named the same.
Great, love that.
I know, we do love that. So let's save this to a new folder so that I'm not doing that. Let's do one that's gonna be red winter. And then we're gonna save this there so that we actually have at least one version. Export as. Again, this is the magic of artboards. You get everything all at once. It's saving all of these at high resolution, all out to this red winter folder where it won't rewrite or work.
Yes, let's do that next. Let's show how to set up the artboards because I'm actually very curious about that workflow.
Yeah, of course. Now, I am not actually super like into this. This is my first artboard that I set up. So I'm sorry to say that it's been a little bit since I've done my own. Like, let me see, how did I do it? I think I created just one. I did just one. And then there's, you can create the artboards. New artboard? Yeah. Okay, so this is, I think it converted the image. I'm sorry that this is all new for me. So I made an image and then I did make new artboard. So now I have one artboard and you can see it's right here. And if I do layer new artboard again, and I name this one artboard 2, that's fine. Now I get the other one, right?
Oh, so you can just, it's just like Illustrator.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I can name these. I don't know. I can name these. This could be.
I sounded so not confident. Yes. The answer is yes. It is very much like Illustrator.
Okay.
I do it a different way in Illustrator, but yeah, it seems like it's just like that.
We could do like tablet version over, except spelled right. Do you like how I can't spell? Tablet. And then we could do web right here. And you see they've got these different names. And so if you want to move them around, you just need to be in the move tool and you need to grab the name. Okay. And then because it's set up for someone who's going to do prototyping, that's why you see these little pluses.
Because you can add screens. Oh.
Yeah, you can just add a bunch of screens that are of the same. And I'm pretty sure if I'm not wrong, let me see if I can do it here. It'll duplicate everything. Oh, no, it's not. I lied to you.
Oh, try this again.
Shift?
I don't know how this works. Yeah, I was going to say, try it with like Shift or Alt or Command or whatever.
Oh, Option.
Woo! Victory lap, baby.
We're learning together.
We're learning together.
We're
That's
learning
what Adobe
together.
Live is all about. Can you drop something across multiple artboards, or does it crop at the edge of that artboard?
It's gonna crop at the edge of that artboard.
Perfect.
I only know that answer. I already know that. Yeah. And again, your artboards show up like this, like they would if they were layer stacks, right? So you can hide them, and yeah, it's gonna show up across. And that's how it works.
Cool.
We learned today.
We learned today.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do.
I wanted to do the ginkgo because I love the yellow leaves. So let me go ahead and generate some images for that. Let's do a yellow ginkgo forest. That's not how you spell anything, please.
So this is the thing that now is concerning to me is when it was English only, if you spelled something wrong, you would get like the craziest return because it didn't understand a different language.
Really?
Now that it understands different languages, sometimes you're like if you spell it wrong, you don't know because it doesn't give you weird stuff. It'll just be like, oh yeah, you're like speaking another language.
I like this, but I kind of want more trees.
And I think we still have palette. Oh, we want to keep palette in art because we want the style consistent. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a really good option that you selected there.
I love the palette knife.
It really works. I love it too. All right. Okay. Yeah, I really like this one because it's got really just like nice symmetry to it.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and save that one, and we're gonna drop it back in our artboards, and we're not gonna save over it again. We're gonna actually do something fun, and then keep it this time around. So let's go to our downloads. I'm gonna pull this in, and yeah, it should just like so it's open over here. But as you can see, it's only gonna be on one artboard at a time, but it will automatically move.
Oh, okay. So it moves to whatever you're dragging it to. Got it.
But there is only one instance, if that makes sense. That's why when I had the gradient in the beginning, when I tried to pull it over, it wasn't gonna pull over. Like you have to duplicate it. So if I want 2 of these, I have to actually duplicate it. So let's open up my lined note, and I guess, we were supposed to edit the smart object. That's what we were gonna try to do. So let's leave this guy over here, because we already know our smart object is gonna be all yucky, because it's gonna be twisted, because those were the choices I made. So let's go ahead and pull this into the smart object. Let's make it nice and big. And I kinda like it like that. Let's see what it turns out to be.
Update. That's cool.
That's super sweet. And then if I hide, let me grab this guy. If I hide this one, oh, it's because we already edited the envelope. Remember, we had it right there. So now it's all stretched and yucky.
It's all stretchy.
We don't want that. So we're gonna pull our extra image down and we're gonna put it on top.
What we could do is put the smart object like over the whole space and then put a mask on the smart object of the size of the business card. That would work and not stretch it, right?
That's a good idea. I really like that. Yeah.
I try.
No, you are full of the good ideas. Where do they come from? How do you get
honestly,
them?
I have no idea.
Yeah?
It's like when you fall down the stairs and then you land on your feet and you're like, how did I get down here?
Is that what it is? Your entire life is like
it's
a
falling
cat
down the stairs,
falling down the stairs
Yes.
and landing on its feet?
And Christopher's saying you can hold control and drag it to duplicate it. Oh, so you can duplicate something onto another artboard.
Christopher, thank you so much.
Smart.
Yeah, smarty out there. Now, I do want to edit Honey Bun because remember we had it red, which was cute. It was cute for what we were doing. Do we want to edit it back or do we want it...
Let's do blue. I wonder if we can do like an icy...
Ooh, okay, all right.
Icy winter
but
blue. Oops.
do you think that would work with the ginkgos? Because I feel like...
I think the blue and like yellow are good contrast.
Let's try it. All right, let's go to the gradient overlay. Let's see what blues are out the box. Do you use the out the box or do you always pick your own?
Oh no, I use the out the box.
Yeah, it's easy, right? It's
Out of the box.
It's kind of nice.
Out of the box.
I feel like this might be cute. Let's give it a shot.
I like it.
I do too, but then it's a little bit greener in here.
Oh, that's true.
So I feel like I have to push it to a little bit of a green look for
Oh,
it.
well, we could do there, and this is a great use case of what I was talking about. We can do a hue saturation shift.
Okay.
So instead of going back in, and again, this is the wrong way to do it, for sure. This is the wrong way to do it. But you can just stack your layers, and if you're already here, might as well just like, hey, let's throw a hue saturation, move the saturation. Because we can see and match it with the background easier, it might be better to do it that way.
You're right about that. And I'm looking in all the wrong places for hue saturation.
There it is.
And so we're gonna push it a little bit towards green.
We do need
let's
to lock
clip
it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. And I kind of want to turn the saturation up, or maybe even the darkness down a little bit.
Yep.
Oh man.
That's
Maybe
pretty.
lighter. I like it like that.
Yeah, that's good.
No, the only problem, which you highlighted, is that now I have to like put it on each one. You know what I mean?
That's true. Again, this is why it's the wrong way to do it.
But it's okay because you should learn your options in Photoshop
Yes.
because there are so many. So it's a beautiful thing for you to be able to explore these different ideas. And honestly, even if you just like doing it this way, that's not wrong. You can just do whatever you want.
Everyone take your own journey. We all learn different ways, right?
Yeah,
How long have you been doing
exactly.
Photoshop?
Oh my gosh, like 20 years.
There we go.
Yeah, so like who freaking cares?
We're on our journey.
honestly?
And you know what? We're only as old as the soles of our shoes. And the clicks that we make in Photoshop, the amount of clicks that I've had, so many clicks. The journeys we've been on.
I have never heard that before. We're only as old.
We're only as old as the soles of our shoes, right? It's the
beautiful.
and it feels like we're walking down this hallway, just not hallway, treeway. I don't know what you would call it. It's a very like angular. Let's call it a treeway.
I like the idea of a treeway. It's like a forest. I'm sorry that I'm like slowly dragging this down, but unfortunately I didn't bring my tablet, and so we're all suffering together.
You're good.
We're all
Honestly.
suffering together, staring at my layer stack.
My new bio. Yes.
And yet, here we are. We've got this sweet honey bun logo across all of these that is matching the right colors. And I've got these beautiful ginkgo leaves. So let's go ahead and let's save this. Actually, before we even go there, I'm gonna make sure that I've got another folder. And then we're gonna do yellow ginkgo. Oh my God.
It's nice that we can
How
save.
do I spell everything wrong? Sorry.
Oh, same. It's nice that we can do, and again, I use an Illustrator all the time, the export for artboards.
Yeah?
That we can do all of it at the same time, not have to like save 1, 2, 3, 4. That it's just like boom, here's everything.
Exactly. And again, my whole lie today was that I've got a successful Patreon and I only have this last 40 minutes to do all these different versions and make our Japanese friends happy. And so I feel like we really
I
succeeded.
feel like we've done really well.
Let's export this. Let's make sure it doesn't go into red winter. We want to make sure it goes into yellow ginkgo. And export.
And chat, if you have suggestions, if you have prompts you'd like to see, if you have any questions for us about creativity, about careers, about illustration, about character design, any questions for us, go ahead and drop them in chat. We have the YouTube here, we have the Behance here. We can read all the chat, so if you have questions, go ahead and drop them in. We would love to answer your questions. And in the meantime, I wonder if we could, what suggestion do I want to make? I almost wanted to see these like mocked up on a table. Like if we could do like find some, or like even from Adobe stock, to like put them so they feel like they're on like a physical, right?
Let's go to Adobe stock.
Yeah, you can find some really great templates on Adobe stock, which is really cool. And if you go to stock.adobe.com/for-free, you can get those for free. And you don't, it's not for free, sorry. It's just /free. I don't know why I said that.
Table with stationery. Let's do table with, what could we say? Like, notebook.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, that one. That's cute.
That is cute. I kind of want it to have the business card as well, though, or like an envelope as well. But let's just say.
Oh, here, I got you.
Yeah, you got one.
What is this? You did table with notebook?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's got too many iPads and stuff in it.
Actually, if you go to /free, you probably will be able to grab them.
Free.
Yes, let me go to templates. Where are we here? Filters. I want to see a template. Why can I not pull up templates? All right, let's do, because I'm not in templates. Thanks, everybody. What were the ones we did?
We did a note, like a note paper and a business card. Oh yeah, on the table. That's right.
All right. Ooh, let's do that. I mean, that's kind of cute.
It is cute. We could do 2 different pages or.
Oh yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna grab this. I'll email it to you.
Okay.
So you can have that.
Yeah.
So license, it's going into my Adobe stock. It's a PSDT, which allows it to be a Photoshop document template?
Okay.
Question mark? I think that's what it is. Let me send this to you.
Yeah, please. And let me open up my folder where I've got all my final images, and we'll do maybe the red ginkgo and yellow winter. Let's make these big.
Oh, this is a very large. So the thing with template files is they are absolutely gigantic.
Do you want to just send me the link and then I'll download it?
Let's do that. Hold on, let me see if we can send this real quick.
If it takes more than like 2 minutes, we'll give it back. We'll give back the time. We'll figure out something else. I love the idea of doing this though, because you can really show someone how to brand your work by using these templates.
Yes.
You know, like it's a really cool way to show off your designs. And I feel like if you've noticed on Instagram, a lot of artists will do this, where it's like, you're not just looking at the final image, you're looking at the entire like mise en scene style stuff, so that it looks very cool and professional.
It is too large to send at this moment.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
With 7 minutes left.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I will find one and we'll just drop it in. Thank you for bearing with us.
Another great place to find this actually is Behance.
They got that.
If you've never looked on Behance for templates, a lot of projects, people will create projects and then supply the templates. So let's do paper card template. And let's see, a lot of times there are like templates that you can use. And like this one, free business cards on the floor mockup. You click right there, and then there will be a link.
What?
It's a free download. So a lot of people in their projects will give you free resources, which is really cool. This is
so cool that
Mr.
Behance
Mockup.
has that.
Yes, Behance is really, really good. And if you want to purchase them, you can actually go to Assets. This is a new file, new tab. That's the word that I wanted. So it's a new tab, and you can actually get a whole bunch of really great resources on Behance now. Fonts, templates, colors, photography, everything is here, which is really, really great. Like this font is gorgeous.
That is a gorgeous font.
And if I wanted to, I could grab it right here on Behance, which is really cool. They also added this hire button, so you can hire people, but you also can put on your profile what you would like to be hired for, and then people will be able to discover you, which is really cool. So Behance is like, there's been a whole bunch of updates. There's a whole new Behance. If you want more information about that, you can check out our office hours episode that is called Back to Behance. So it's called Back to Behance, and it goes through all of the new things in Behance, including all the monetizations. You can actually get hired and get paid through Stripe directly on Behance now.
What?
Yeah, so it's really, really great. There's a ton of good stuff. Okay, back to your screen. We're looking for mockup.
I was still looking for the right mockup. I'm sorry to say that we've gotten into that point where we're
spiraling to mockups.
Yes, you know how it is.
We love a good mockup spiral.
You know how it is. This is pretty cute. I know that it's like big and open, but I feel like I could probably make it happen. So let's do this. It's a JPEG. That's kind of rough.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
We're gonna make it happen.
I am not
here.
phased.
Okay, all right. So we got this download. Let's see if it's got anything, even if it's got like channels in it. Anything? Ooh, we're on our own.
We got it.
We're on our own here. What do we do?
What's nice? Okay, we got it. We're gonna be okay. What is nice is that nothing else is white, so we can select color range and then click on the white and then mask.
Okay,
and then we can drop our art onto the page, and it should get a really nice subtle mask.
I'm just gonna bring it in just to be ready, right?
Yep.
And I'm gonna hide it for now, and then we're gonna do select color range. We're gonna select this white.
This will be nice because I think it'll give us all those like little scratchy tones on the paper.
I hope so.
Yep.
And I'm selecting multiple points just to make sure.
Just in case, yes.
Yeah, because sometimes there's different colors in that photo, so I want to make sure. And I'm gonna hit OK. All right, it says it's good.
Yep, so then I just put a mask there.
I'm gonna put a mask here, and then I'm gonna unlink the
yes,
mask so that
is
I can
such
move
a pro
it around.
tip.
It is. So do you guys see that? Like, it's really tiny. There's this little linked thing between the actual art and then the mask, right?
Yes.
And then if I uncheck it, then I can move my art behind the mask. Oops, let's turn it on though.
Yep, you need to select the. Oh, you're moving the mask.
I am. You're right. Thank you.
I'm here for you.
Thank you. Oops.
And someone's asking, could you prompt a mock-up on Firefly? Yes, there is actually a bunch of great streams with that. It's a really, really great tool to prompt mock-ups. It doesn't do, again, it's pulling from Adobe stock, so it doesn't do intellectual property stuff. So if you're trying to do like an iPhone or something specific product, it's not going to generate that for you, but you can get pretty close for like billboards and that kind of stuff. It's a pretty great tool for getting that sort of things, but you can get templates that are already built that you can plug your art into on Behance and on Adobe Stock. And so generating is great, but you get a flat image JPEG. If you can get an actual template, it's usually way easier.
I had decided that I wanted to try and select this color range so that I could change the background color.
Oh, yeah, no, we can.
So
yeah.
I was just gonna
What we could do is add okay, yes, do that, and then I'll show you another way because we have 3 minutes.
Let's see if that works.
We can do both ways.
Actually, that worked a treat.
That worked really good, actually.
Yeah, it's because I wanted it to be like a different color, or it could even be like that green of the pillow, but it needed to be something other than that pink.
Yep. Okay, so can you hide that one? And the other way that you could have done that is add another hue and saturation layer.
Okay, but no mask.
No mask. And then you can go in right up top where it says master, under default, on the hue and saturation right there. Change it to reds. And then this is gonna give you control of just the reds. And because it's that pink, you'll be able to augment it very easily, and it's gonna get all those tones, all those, I have answers.
You do?
And so it'll help kind of change that, and that only works if you're working with like a flat background. If it was like red and green, you could go into the red channel and change it, and the green channel and change it. So you can get really, really minute with doing adjustment layers by going out of the kind of master control and going into just those channel controls.
That's amazing. And you know what else we could do? We could convert this to a smart object, and we could swap in all our different versions that we just
That's true.
made. And that
on
would
different
be
artboards if we wanted
amazing.
to.
New smart object via copy. And then I could just open up my smart object. I could dump in one of my old notes that we did earlier. Hit save. Can't save. That's fine. You can just, that's okay. It's not gonna update, it says? Why?
I feel like I'm trying to understand how it duplicated the smart object and then made a different one.
Can't save this document back to its format. Flatten the layers and extra data. Oh, because it was a PNG, so it's like, hey, I can't like save this as like whatever, but if I flatten it and then hit save.
It looked like it was, yes, it had a smart object in the smart object. That's what happened.
That is what happened.
Yep.
But now, like I said, it automatically just changed to my other version.
Really cool.
Just like that.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. We're going to wrap it up. Thanks for joining us today. We used Firefly to generate some images, to create some seasons. We used a whole bunch of tricks in Photoshop. And before that, we did a whole bunch of texture. So it's been a full day. Where can people follow you if they want to connect with you?
My name online everywhere, Renee Di Cherri, just as it is.
Yep. So we'll see you again tomorrow for more content here on Adobe Live, and we're back next week. We are going to be back to our regular programming. Monday is going to be all motion and video. So tune in Monday if you're into motion and video, and we'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.